Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm here today, your host Peaches on Peach Talk, here to spotlight Mr. Chris H. How you doing today, Chris?
How you doing, young lady? How are you?
I'm doing well. So of course, we like to start off the show to let people know a little bit about yourself and how you got to this point. So, if you don't mind, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, hello, world. My name is Chris Huff. I'm Atlanta native, 40 years old, and I'm introducing again my sock line, Cool Chris Luxury Socks Company, to the world, and with Miss Peace, which Miss Ashley on Peace Talk. So,
Well, I'm glad to have you in. Of course, we like to do this. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey to the audience, by the way, because we got people coming in. But so we like to do this once a month, spotlighting Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs. And I'm so appreciative of you being here and allowing me to interview you. So, um, tell us a little bit about your business. Like, what have you like? How did you get this started?
well, how I got this sock company started was just something that I imagined. A couple of years ago when I was selling cars. Back then the car business was we were suited and booted, so I always try to make sure I look up the part. And I always wanted to signature my stocks with my ties. So what I would do is I always try to have that same colors, that colorway, a color segment. But if I'm wearing green, a green tie, I want to have green and blue socks. So it got to the point that I started buying socks, and what I learned, how can I say it? When I what I learned was when I started buying socks, they started getting more expensive. So I
Mhm.
realized it was marketable. It was something as far as you can make some money out of it. So I said, why not try to start making my own socks? So that's where it basically came from a simple thought.
Okay, that's what's up. So, do you tell us a little bit about your personal life? Do you have children?
Yeah, I have three girls. They're a little older now. 22, 18, and 16. Um,
Okay,
I,
okay.
so I've
Now
raised them for over 16 years. So
that's
been-
what's up. Okay, so you're a girl dad. That's what's up. So how does your business affect your personal life? Do you like how are your kids involved? Do they, you know, like that you're, a business owner? Do you think that teaches them good things as far as being a business owner?
that's a good question. As far as my daughters and the business stuff I got going on, now they kind of doing their own thing. They deal and dabble as far as try to see what's going on and give me some ideas. So they do that, but they like to spend their money. So they will support where everything's coming from. So they are big fans of mine of these socks. But as far as they're concerned, they give me some ideas. They tell me what color schemes are okay or nice from their mindset. But they are from a standpoint. I do appreciate that.
Well, that's good. Yeah, it's always good to have the kids involved. Like, I've said this on other shows before. When you have children and when they're watching you, it's a good teachable moment for them to know that, hey, you can be your own boss, and then, also just bringing them into the family business, making sure that they, reap the benefits and also earn their way. So they'll know, hey, look, you can't just be spending dad's money.
Right,
This is
right, right. Right, they learning that, they start to learn the value of a dollar and responsibility. So I feel like once they start learning that, I could go on and equate that in. I don't think it's never too old to learn some. So,
right.
I've earned their trust as far as the decisions I made through life. So they do believe me. So that's a good thing. I'm able to just put in bits and pieces so they can understand how this world really works. So when that time comes, I start showing them which one of them that's interested in learning the process. I do that, but I want to just implement the baby steps as long as I'm here. So
Yeah, and you know what? And I think me personally, I think that it's good marketing when a woman is involved as far as the sock business
right,
because men tend to like pay attention to what women like. You know what I mean?
exactly,
So
exactly.
so I think it would be a good thing. I mean, so that's good that you're incorporating them. So how do you create um time to have a healthy personal life? Like, what are some things that you do in order to make sure that you don't get stressed out or things like that?
Well, I wish I had a good answer as far as the stressed out part, but I tried. What I've learned was basically try to get essential sleep. I try to go to bed no later than 10 sometimes, no, and try to get up about 7. I try to utilize my whole day. We only got 24 hours, and
Yeah.
having a corporate job too, you still got to assess your dreams and the stuff you invested in. So I start out with sleep and just try to live by schedule. Organization is key. I'm not perfect at that yet, but I'm still working on it. It's making me a better man each day, though. But, it's something that I'm working towards. But organization is key. Is to have essential a good family life, personal life, and business life. You got to be able to separate all three or two that you have going on.
Yeah, and I always tell people, a lot of times too, you can end up exhausting yourself when you doing too much at one time, and then if you don't have, like you said, a steady schedule, or rather a good organization system in
Right,
place, you can tend to, exhaust yourself to a point where you like get discouraged, and it's like things aren't getting done. So
right.
um it's always good to definitely have that in place.
And also, I mean to cut you off. I
Oh,
also have
you
a
good.
good support system too. You got to
Oh,
make
that's
sure you got
good.
that
Yeah.
positive energy around you. Family, friends, whatever the case may be. We don't get no blueprint as far as
Right.
life goes and parenting and everything. So, you at least want to have somebody you can bounce back ideas and problems on, and and know that they're one of those people who go have your back and be 100 with you. So
Right. Right. Because you definitely don't want, and I've told people this quite often. I don't want a friend that's gonna tell me what I want to hear. I want a
right,
friend
right,
that tell me what I need to hear,
exactly,
because
exactly,
because people can set you up for failure when they agree with you all the time. So
right,
most of the time, you need that. Hey, look, I don't think that's a good idea, friend.
yeah.
Like, you gotta come up with something else.
You're right though. You're right
So
though. So that
so
helps a lot.
yeah. So how long have you been in business, and what made you pursue going into the stock business?
The sock business, how long I've been in business? Probably close to 2.5 years.
Okay.
I jumped it off prior to COVID, and it was a self-taught process. So I was still learning schematics, still is to this day. And then what I did was just got rid of my old designs and start making new designs. And when I started from scratch again, I start learning about fabric, what feels comfortable for feet, just knowing measurements of feet, the size variations. If women want to wear them, is it compatible? I ain't gonna say compatible. I'm sorry. Is it is it woman friendly, so to speak?
Okay.
And just make sure that I try to give the best product I can with what ideas I do have. So um, that process within itself was one, and just basically put myself in a position to learn as I go. So I've been in the business for 2 years, 3 years, and I'm starting to add more things into the line as well. I got some
Okay.
different ideas, different investors coming in as far as their ideas too. So I got a vision. We all got a vision, and I think it's gonna be a game changer in 2023. So I hope I
Okay.
answered the question.
Yeah, you did. You did. That's what's up. Okay. So and you said that as far as your passion to pursue that was, I'm sorry, I may have missed that part. Like, what was your passion to pursue that? You just wanted.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So the passion to even start this line was just to have something different.
Okay.
Not to knock nobody else, where everybody tends to do the same thing, and I always try to be the one to stick
Different.
out. And I was like, let me challenge myself to at least learn something that's not um familiar with a lot of people. I know a lot of people love socks. I know a lot of people wear socks. I know,
Right.
and, it's something that we use every day, that we
Right.
throw away, pairs lose, and everything of that nature. So I just wanted to do something different, something that people need essentially every day that prefer socks. And it was the vision just to leave my daughter something different, something to grow
Okay.
on too. So I just wanted to be in a position just to have something different that everybody wasn't doing, and I can build from and go my speed. You know what I'm saying? So it was something different that I wanted to do and lead them something different as well.
Okay, that's what's up.
Sorry
Um,
about
no, you good, you good. So do you think that there is room for improvement? And I know you mentioned you have new things coming up on your line. So if you could just elaborate on that.
that. We're coming out with well, we're gonna start a new line as far as bringing out some cashmere sweaters. We're gonna bring new styles. As
Okay.
far as that's concerned. The room for improvement, I think, is always room. You want to try to. What I'm learning is you want to try to build the best you. When you build a brand, you don't want it to be tarnished by um, naysayers, imaging, bad business, everything of that nature. So it's always room for improvement. I always, I always say I'm a coachable person because I always want to be better. I think I can learn something even the age I am right now, and I still try to. So at the end of the day, I always think it's room to improve. If you hungry for that, for whatever you pursuing, um, it won't be no improvement if you just settling. So
Right.
I always try to ask my close peers, if I'm doing something wrong or if I could do something better, even in my personal life or my professional life. So it's always room for improvement. I think when those improvements do hit and people can tell you something and you can essentially listen to what they're saying and be coachable for that, it's
Right.
always good as far as pursuing other things. And people can have your confidence, that guy's or that young lady is a good person because they're willing to listen and make changes. So,
Right.
I always think it's room for improvements.
Right. I completely agree. Not just being able to delegate and tell people, what you have going on, but being able to receive the knowledge as well, because we don't, like you said, we don't know, there is no blueprint. Well, there's some things that you can do, and typically the reason why I like doing these types of interviews and things like that is because you have so many people trying to get in certain fields.
Right.
The apparel business is always, there's always something for everybody. And I even explain to people when they, ask, why did you start the podcast? There's so many podcasts. And I'm like, well, you have a lot of channels on your TVs.
Yeah, right,
So
right,
it's always something for somebody.
right.
I'm not gonna resonate with everybody. And the same with, different businesses,
Exactly.
but somebody is gonna look at your product and say, you know what? I'm gonna get me a few things, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right,
So,
right.
and the good thing with your business is that it is like gender neutral. So even women can, hey, you know what, I like the style, I'm gonna put these on, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's good. That's awesome. So, what has been your process to becoming a apparel owner? So, like, what have been some steps you've taken to get to this point?
Well, it's definitely starting out with your, registering with the state, your EIN number, your business name, investing in yourself as far as that, as far as the legality part of it. You want to make sure everything's right as far as that's concerned. And as far as that, just figuring out manufacturers as far as how I would build my socks, how the vision I'm looking for, if I can find a good partner per se to find good socks, the combination of threading, the combination of fabrics, and that takes a while. Sometimes when you meet with manufacturers and you visit with them, you have to get them to understand your vision. Um, and that's what I did. I just try to make sure that I try to create from a standpoint of what's suitable for everybody every day. I don't want to make something that people don't how can I say this want to wear on certain days. I want to
Occasions,
people
yeah.
can wear every day. So that process is just implement my business foundation and just creating and not taking no for an ounce. Meeting with people and letting like my brand here to stay. It can't do nothing but go up, and the essential process that I've done is just make sure I just stay on my course, self-taught. And just to reiterate, it is blueprints of stuff to do, but sometimes when you learning something from a standpoint of not having no help, you're
True.
going to head sometimes. And you're gonna have to learn. You got to learn how to trust and build relationships with business and trust people, business savviness, everything of that nature. So I think all that as far as my process of where I'm at. But just making sure my foundation stay straight as far as um be able to get feedback and vision. Oh, I like these sauces. You need to bring a mauve color or anything of that nature. So it's kind of simple as far as what I'm doing as far as the process. It gotta just grab people eye. So
Right. Yeah, and I agree. It's just a matter of because, like, and I'll be honest, like even with me, I'm having to still learn to go back and fix things because
right,
with someone that hasn't done or haven't built a business before, you can run into a lot of hiccups. And like you said, it's always good to network and find other business owners that have gone through those steps so
Right.
that you can possibly prevent the same, obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, we do have other segments on here as well where we have business owners come in and actually give that advice. Hey, these are the sites that and references that you need to use in order to build your business.
Right.
Because especially with our community, it's very difficult to find people that are willing to assist, because it seems like everybody wants to, they think, I tell people everybody can eat.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at the bread out.
Right.
It's the same product with different brands, but it's
Right.
something for everybody.
You're
So,
absolutely right.
so,
Absolutely.
so we definitely have to work together. That's why I love doing these types of interviews, and getting people to know the people behind the brands,
Right.
so that they know, hey, look, these are real people. And we want everybody to come up, and
Definitely.
also to enjoy the luxuries of each other's, labors.
Yeah. And that's what
Um,
it's about.
yeah. So do you? I know you mentioned you do work in corporate world. Do you work on things outside of your stock business?
I do. I'm building a chair now. It's a task chair and it has a table on it. And it's L2 furniture. We call them the board chairs. I named all these chairs now. So basically, it's a task chair that we're focusing on as far as training rooms and classrooms. We're trying to reinvent the classroom vision as far as what schools and what colleges implement. We're trying to just do something different as far as giving kids comfort and accessibility and it don't give it like more of that present institutionalism
Oh yeah, yeah.
far as high school and middle school. The tables have a 360-degree turn, and you can find them on my Instagram page. It's L2 Furniture underscore. That's branding being done now, so we're going to introduce that probably the first of 2023 as far as getting that on, as far as ordering and everything of that nature. But it's going to give you a vision as far as just changing the whole concept for high schools and middle schools and colleges, just giving a whole different vision of chairs, school furniture, and everything of that nature. And it's patented too. All my chairs are patented, so I want to throw that out there as well. So, and that's something that my team and I are really excited about because we're trying to change the game and just trying to knock on a door that hasn't been knocked on, so to speak, as far as like Black entrepreneurs. So I try to just set different trends and try to be in a position to create things that is going to be need a lot of, and I think it's going to be a good investment and good opportunity for us as well. So
That's good. So I'm just gonna post this comment. We actually will put everything in the description of this video once everything goes uploads after the show. Everything is done live, so if you haven't already seen in the description, you will be able to see his IG tags and website information. So if you guys want to visit and you know partake in perusing the site and everything, so that y'all can go ahead and make some purchases. So
yeah, we
um
welcome everybody. So please come and join. I appreciate everything.
so what has been some biggest challenges you faced being an entrepreneur?
Um, the biggest one is just keep going, keep pursuing the end goal. I think when you become an entrepreneur, the end goals tend to change sometimes. You want to always kind of keep your eyes on the goals, the goal, the impulse, so you can make sure you stay driven. And then just having confidence. I think a lot of people are scared to fail in a lot of things. I really
Right.
don't care because I feel like I'm gonna do everything I can to be successful. And at least I tried. Um, and just having that confidence and willpower to keep going. A lot of people don't. A lot of people might not understand what you're trying to do or your end goal. It's a lot of people that might say, well, naysayers and negativity, and you just got to believe in yourself. And just the I would just say one of the problems people have in general, including myself, is your own self.
Hmm.
Stopping yourself. You know, you use some hatred, or when people hate you, use that as your motivating because you must be doing something good. So
Right.
I just think yourself is one of the main essential things that might stop yourself as far as difficulties.
Yeah, we can be our own worst critic. We can be our biggest challenges because, and a lot of people suffer from procrastination. So a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
times
exactly.
you be like, "Oh, I have all these visions," but then you don't do nothing about them.
Do nothing
So
about
they don't become reality. They just become they're just they stay dreams
it. Right,
because people don't implement the action in order to create a reality for 'em. So, it's always good to, like you said, have that good support system, even when you can't motivate yourself, having, that sense of motivation behind you can help a whole lot,
right.
and sometimes, that's why I always talk to people and I ask personal questions about if they have kids and things like that,
Yeah,
because people have
yeah,
to know, yeah, we have families, and most of the time our families like that we create, our kids become that motivation for us
yeah.
to, we can't let them see us fail, you know what I mean? So,
Right,
and always teaching them, hey, it's more to life than just working a 9 to 5. Yeah,
exactly.
you may have to work that 9 to 5 to pay your regular bills, but there are other things that you can be out here doing to create generational wealth and things like that.
Right.
So, yeah, so it's always important to, you know, basically go to bat, like fight yourself sometimes, because
Mhm.
like you said, you can be down in, and don't get me wrong, I've been in a situation where I've doubted myself like the
Right,
best of them. I'm like, oh, ain't nobody gonna really tune in,
right,
but
right.
ironically, people, like the content. So, you know, um, like you said, you just have to be your biggest motivator sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, so how do you what are some things you do to overcome those challenges when you have that doubt in your head, or you have yourself trying to like discourage you from doing things? Like what are some things that you try to do to overcome that?
Get rest. I try to do a lot of things to overcome stress.
Yeah.
I try to talk to close people. I try to talk to people that's gonna give me the honest opinion. I read a lot. I do read a lot. And I feel like those ups and downs that we do go, I know they're gonna come and go. And I think that once you mentally be prepared to know that those ups and downs can possibly come, I think everybody should have some essential way to deal with that. Me personally, I like to say I read, I relax, I try to be at home, I try to make my house, a comfort zone, a safe zone, make it to I don't want to go nowhere, and I just sit there and ponder. I just sit there and think. And that's been most essential and like best thing, like the most sound thing that I do is just sit home and just read. Try to be more within myself, you know.
Mhm.
I think that helps me, So
Yeah. Yeah, and there are certain things that you could do, like you said, reading is always good. Like I tell people all the time, people think it's funny when I tell them that I don't watch a lot of TV,
right,
but it's because there are so many things that you can learn, so many things that can entertain you outside of just television. And so, I'm like you. I actually, read a lot. You know what I
mhm,
mean?
mhm,
And if I'm not doing anything pertaining to the business, posting, for social media, that's typically what I'm doing.
right,
The only way I watch TV is I'm like absolutely bored,
right, right.
but
Me
yeah,
too.
you have to find those things to relax. Hell, sometimes you gotta go to the spa,
Yeah,
some just get a massage just to kind of decompress. So
yeah, yeah.
there are many things. So what would be some advice you would give to future entrepreneurs that are trying to get into your field of work?
Advice I would give anybody is to stay focused. The way the world is built, we tend to sometimes feel like we don't have nobody on our side. And I think when you become an entrepreneur, I think more or less you like I say you your biggest critic.
Mhm.
Your biggest judge, your judgeer or whatever, however you want to phrase it. But more or less, just stay focused. If it's something you passionate about, I think that your heart will always lead you in the right way. And I think
Mhm.
that when you have a sound mind and you confident within yourself, um, you know the ups and downs will come. But I think all the hard work and if you really down and patient with your process, that hard work always pay off. I haven't met anybody that's have 6, 7 figures, 8 figures that didn't stay on their course and they didn't have a story to say that, oh yeah, this happened, but I still um
Right.
persevere. And I think that story within that start to finish, that story right there, that solidifies who you are. So my advice is just stay on the track. Always have positive energy around you. Make sure that you putting yourself in a position to win, not lose. Never put yourself in a position to somebody else can control your vision
Mm-hmm.
because they might not see it how you see it, and just have that confidence within yourself. And I say most importantly, don't quit.
Right.
You get you entrepreneurship is something real tough, man.
Yeah.
Nothing is promised, nothing is given to you. But your supporters will always make sure you win. Oh, and accountability, integrity, and
Mm.
accountability. Like when you building a brand, you got to make sure that your brand sticks out from everybody else, and you always want to stick out from a standpoint of, hey, Chris right there, that man's a stand-up guy. He
Right.
always got his word, do good business, whatever the case may be. You know, and at the end of the day, you always want somebody to know where you came from and where you're trying to go. That's
Right.
that story success and that start and finish, like I said right there, that solidifies who you are, good or bad. So you want to make sure
Right.
you stay on the road and the task for that. So my advice is just make sure you don't give up on yourself. And stay. It's easy to give up, but it's
Right.
such a
Yes, it
reward
is.
when you say, you know what, I did what I said I was gonna do, I achieved it, and can't nobody take that hard work from you. It
Right.
makes you stick your chest out. So,
And always seeing the final product of something that you've created is always like the best feeling ever because it's
oh
like
yeah,
I did that. You know what I
right,
mean?
right, right.
So and even that, because even when it comes to like the different shows and things like that, and knowing how people interact, and the feedback I get, you know that in itself just lets you know that, hey, I'm doing the right thing, I'm on the right path,
Right.
because it resonates with somebody. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's great advice. I appreciate that. um so go ahead and tell the people where they can find your stuff, find your products, your chairs, all that stuff. We want to find
Yeah.
out where we can purchase.
So, like I said, we're doing the marketing for the chairs. They're going to be out first quarter 2023. We're still working on that. We got the patent, everything together. It's L2 Furniture Company. The chairs are going to be named like different destinations a lot of people can go to. So my first introduction of the chairs is going to be the Bora. Um, I'm excited about that. You can find the socks on Kuul Chris Lux Socks. That's KUULCHRISLUXSOX on Instagram, and on coolchris.com. And you can find on Facebook. You can order online. You can order on Instagram too. So, you know.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, we appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you allowing me to spotlight you and interview you for your business. Again, people, we will have everything in the description. Once we come off live, the video will be uploaded, and you guys will be able to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, and also if you're in the Cobb County area, the north side of the metro area on top of 285, feel free to come to JR Crickets in Marietta. That's 1854 Terra Mill Road, Marietta, Georgia 30067. Yeah, good wings, good time. We DoorDash, Uber Eats, all that type of stuff, man. And it's like two lights from Truist Stadium. So come and support there too as well. I apologize about that.
No, you good. You good. Yeah, look, get all the businesses out there, because we definitely want to make sure that the folks know where they can find you, find your products, find the good vibes. That's what this is all about. So, I do appreciate you taking the time to interview with us. Hopefully, this sparks some more business for you. And to those who tuned in, I appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, you guys stay sweet.
Take it easy, y'all. Thank you, Peach. Thanks, Peace Talk. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate everything, and thank you for that support too.
No problem.